viewers, fans, and subscribers. Today we lost an icon. We lost a legend. We lost a Hall of Famer. And Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, whatever alias, whatever name you want to go by, he is one of the greatest acts in the world of music. But here's the thing. He has a song, one of the songs called No More Tears. And that's something else because while that song's title may be No More Tears, we are now all crying, and there are more tears that are going to be shed over the next several hours, several weeks, several days. It is going to go on for a very, very long time because this is a man that will go down in the history books as one of the elite singers of not just this generation, but multiple, multiple generations, ladies and gentlemen, as we come together and we remember the moments, the memories, the times of one of the greatest of all time to ever perform, even in his dying days, even frail, even not being able to deliver like he once did. He still gave you a performance of a lifetime just a few weeks ago. This man meant everything to music. He was one of the most prolific performers. The world of heavy metal music is mourning the loss of one of its pioneers. As it was announced that Ozzy Osbourne, hours ago, often referred to as the Prince of Darkness, has passed away at the age of 76. The news was confirmed by his family. At first, we all thought, oh, this is going to be a hoax. This is going to be fake. This is going to be clickbait. But instead, it was as real can get, unfortunately and sadly. Ozzy Osbourne rose to fame in the 1970s as the frontman of the iconic heavy metal band Black Sabbath. Together, the bandmates created a unique and dark sound that would go on to influence countless bands and musicians, with hits like Paranoid, War Pigs, and Iron Man, among others. Black Sabbath captured the attention of fans with their heavy riffs, haunting lyrics, and Ozzy's unmistakable voice. But it wasn't just his music that made Ozzy Osbourne an icon. Known for his wild and rebellious behavior, he became the epitome of rock star lifestyle. He famously bit the head off a bat on stage and was known for his excessive drug and alcohol use. His larger-than-life persona and shocking antics only added to his legend and solidified himself as a rock star unlike any other. Now, after leaving Black Sabbath in 1979, Osbourne embarked on a successful solo career, releasing hit albums like Blizzard of Oz and No More Tears. And again, no more tears. Now we are all crying. Any genre, any fan of music that you are, we are all crying today. He continued to push the boundaries with his music and performances while also facing personal struggles with addiction and health issues. But through it all, his fans remained loyal and his influence in the music industry continued to grow. Ozzy Osbourne's impact went beyond just the world of heavy metal. He went to WrestleMania, he went to WWE, went to Monday Night Raw. And as a fact, in 2002, he and his family became household names with the reality show The Osbournes. The show gave fans a glimpse into the chaotic and unconventional life of the Osbourne family and showed a softer side of the Prince of Darkness. It also introduced a new generation to his music and personality, further solidify himself as a status as a cultural icon. In recent years, Ozzy Osbourne has faced several health challenges and battles, including a Parkinson's disease diagnosis. But despite these challenges, he continued to perform, and work on new music. His final album, Ordinary Man, was released in 2020 to critical acclaim and showed that he still had the same fire and passion for music that he had in his younger years. Now, here's the thing. Ordinary Man, there was yet another one. Now, there's a lot of rumor and talk about some unreleased songs that have never seen the light of day that we could hear, that we could get. Now, I don't know that to be fact, but it is rumor, it is speculation. The news of Ozzy Osbourne's passing hours ago has left a void in the music world, and many are paying tribute to his life and legacy. Fellow musicians, including his former bandmates, have shared heartfelt messages of condolences and admiration for the man they knew as a friend and a musical inspiration. Fans have also taken to social media to share their memories and express their sadness over the loss of a true legend. Again, you cannot use the word iconic performer more so than now. While we mourn the loss of Ozzy Osbourne, we can also celebrate the incredible impact he had on the music industry and the millions of fans who were touched by his music. His legacy will live on through his iconic songs, his larger-than-life personality, and the countless musicians he inspired. As we say, rest in peace for the final time. The Prince of Darkness, he will be greatly missed, but his music will continue to live on forever. Yes, it will live on forever and ever because a man of this stature, a man of this importance, isn't going to be forgotten anytime, anywhere, on any level. If anything, his legend will grow even more. He will soar to unprecedented heights. He will be even worth more money. He will be even more renowned. And as we pay tribute, and I want your thoughts and your favorite songs, your favorite memories, your favorite albums, your favorite CDs. Where were you? And again, you will always remember where you were and what you were doing and who you were with when you heard about the death of Ozzy Osbourne. No matter your feelings or your sentiments, Ozzy Osbourne meant a lot of different things to a lot of different people on a lot of different levels. A man of such charisma. What a character. I mean, you want to talk about a character. What a character Ozzy Osbourne was truly. And just an amazing, amazing man. And sure, he had his downfalls. Sure, he wasn't perfect. But then again, who is perfect? Then again, Ozzy Osbourne would never want to be perfect. And then to have his swan song, to go off into the sunset several weeks ago in his final performance, his final songs, his final appearance live and in living color. For those fans that were there, for those fans that witnessed it, for those fans that felt it, that last concert means even more now than it ever did. For those of you that took pictures, for those of you that shook his hand, for those of you that met him, for those of you that got his autograph, for those of you that had a chance to listen to Ozzy throughout the years, whether it was Black Sabbath or whether it was him as a solo act or whether it was him on MTV, because how can you talk about this without MTV being in it? But, of course, MTV is obviously a former shell of itself, sadly and unfortunately. But what is not sad is that his memories, his songs, his passion will live on long after you and me or anybody that is hearing or listening to this, long after. That is the kind of mark, and this is going to leave a scar on the music industry. Make no mistake about it, viewers. This is going to leave a scar on the industry of music, on any person that has ever sung a song, for anybody that has ever lit it up on the stage, for anybody that has ever performed with a microphone in their hand, for anybody who has ever been on the guitar, for anybody that has ever seen the fireworks explode. This is a story that is imploding online. You may have first heard of Ozzy through a friend, maybe a boyfriend, maybe a girlfriend, maybe through a book, maybe a biography, maybe an autobiography, maybe through classic radio. Maybe you heard it on marathons. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, the world has come to an abrupt stop. The world has come to a pause. And as loud, as boisterous as Ozzy Osbourne could be, it's almost as if right now you could hear a pin drop because of the sadness, because of the shock, because of the awe. And this man was inspiring on many different levels for many different people. And now we will all come together, no matter what genre of music you're into, no matter what you like, no matter what you're popular, no matter what's in, what's out, no matter what's relevant, no matter what's irrelevant. Ozzy Osbourne will always stand the test of time with relevancy, because Ozzy Osbourne was just that. He was always prevalent and he was always relevant. And now, as the world forms, bands together for the final time for an amazing artist, an amazing individual, and an even greater person. Ozzy Osbourne will go down in the history books, in the annals of time, ladies and gentlemen. Little did anybody know who was watching that last performance a couple of weeks ago that would be the final time. You know, I almost kind of compare it to when the Ultimate Warrior, for those of you who may not know wrestling, WWE, the Ultimate Warrior was a larger than life personality. He was a hell of a character. And the Ultimate Warrior came back to WWE after years and years and years. He came back. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He returned to the WWE. And then what happened? The very next night, he died. He passed away. I'm comparing this almost to that. Ozzy Osbourne had his last performance a couple weeks ago, and now he's dead. And now he's no longer with us. You got to wonder, in that performance, did that performance take more out of him than meets the eye? He delivered still. Still he delivered. At his age, after everything his body's been through, he still gave you every single thing that he had. And at the end of the day, that is all we ever asked, is for Ozzy Osbourne to perform as the prolific performer that he was. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in mourning. The world is crying. It is a sad, sad day. It is a dark day. It is a day that will live on forever. Why? Because it's Ozzy's final bow.